Okay. All right, more people joining us. And we'll get started momentarily. We are recording. If you can put your name in the chat, I need to do that too. And when you do that, if you can put a little brag statement in there for Dr. Stout here to hear all about North Coventry. And I think we will get started. Okay, if someone can watch the people coming in case I miss it as I get rolling here, that would be great. So welcome everybody tonight to the April PTO meeting. We definitely have a few more boxes that I'm looking at. So Dr. Stout, you can come anytime, can be our motivator. So thank you for putting your name in the chat and again, putting a little statement about North Coventry, just so Dr. Stout can see some of the great things that we do and what we're all about. And I think we're up to Jocelyn. Oh, we're gonna do introductions. That's right. Sorry. Okay, so my name is Amy Lignelli. I'm the PTO president. I have one child at North Coventry, another one at the middle school, and a third in high school. And we'll go, Mr. Bentman, I feel like you should go next, although I think everyone knows you, so.
Who's going to say it?
I'm going to go ahead and unmute myself.
Start there.
All right. So I'm Brad Bentman. I'm the principal of this fantastic school community. And I'd just like to welcome everybody to the meeting this evening. So thanks for coming out, supporting our school.
All right. So Tammy, I see you next in my gallery view here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tammy Hartman. I'm the Vice President 1 of the PTO in charge of funding. And I have one North Coventry student who is currently finishing the year in cyber.
Okay. And Jocelyn, I see you next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jocelyn Vitamin. I am the PTO secretary, and I have one student in 5th grade, and I also have at North Coventry, and one student in middle school.
Thank you. Sarah, you're up next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Herhal. I'm Vice President 2 in charge of events and our volunteers for those events. I have one daughter who is in 3rd grade at North Coventry and a son who's 4, so he'll be in kindergarten in a few years.
Thank you. Tab, I see you next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tav Bonsall. I am the assistant to the treasurer for the PTO. I have a 1st grader in Mrs. Beeler's class, and I have one who will be starting kindergarten in the fall.
Thank you. Ben?
Hi, everyone. Ben Hendricks. I have 3 kiddos in the district. My son's in 8th grade at the middle school. I have a daughter in 5th grade at North Coventry and a daughter in 3rd grade who's in cyber. And my wife also teaches at French Creek.
Cool. All right. And we have Marissa beaming in from an undisclosed location. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Marissa Stoltzfus. I am a health and phys ed teacher at the high school, and I am corresponding secretary for PTO. And I have 3 boys at North Coventry, Braden, who's in 6th grade, Jackson, who's in 4th grade, and Xander, who's in 1st grade.
Okay, thank you. Did I get all the board members? We have Kelly Bean is our head teacher, and she has to be on our board whether she wants to or not. So Kelly, you can introduce yourself and then we'll move on for time's sake.
I was hoping I could sneak out of that. My name is Kelly Bean. I'm the instructional support teacher, and I've been back at NC for 10 years, and it's by far the best elementary in the district.
Obviously. I already messed up, Jocelyn. I didn't call it to order, did I? I think it was about 7:03. We're going to call it.
I got it. I had it at 7:04.
Perfect. Okay. So Dr. Stout, you're going to go in a minute. Let's do the minutes real quick. The minutes were sent with the Zoom invite. So perhaps you got a chance to look at those already, or you can pull them up and take a quick look, and Jocelyn will handle it from there.
Okay, so if everyone has had a chance to grab their minutes from today, they were sent Mr. Bentman's email. Do I have anyone to approve the motion?
I motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I
I
second.
can second it.
I have a few. Tammy,
Sure.
any questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Okay, Mr. Bentman, take it away.
All right. So for those of you who know Kelly Bean, she does not lie. She always tells the truth. So one of her best characteristics. So Dr. Will Stout, I welcome you to an amazing school community here. And we appreciate you joining and taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us this evening and to kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and meet us here at North Coventry. So.
Sure. Well, thanks, Brad. I appreciate it. Thanks for giving me a little bit of time tonight. One of the things that part of my transition plan is to obviously, be out in schools, and I would prefer to be out personally. But in this environment, Zoom works. And at this point, I'm living in State College, so it really works, the 3-hour commute that I would be doing to go to all these meetings. But as Brad said, I am Will Stout. I am the newly appointed superintendent of the school district, and I will be beginning at O&J Roberts on July 1. Just a little bit about myself, and Amy, I apologize because you've heard this several times. But I did grow up in Boyertown. I was in Boyertown the first, minus my college years, the first 23 years of my life. And then I headed out of Boyertown and started my professional career in the Lancaster area. Spent 21 years in the Hempfield School District in Lancaster County, started there in the middle school, worked my way through as a middle school assistant principal, then an acting principal at the middle school, and then moved to the high school where I was an assistant principal for a couple of years, and then spent 8 years as the head principal of Hempfield High School. I would say Hempfield's very similar to O&J Roberts, a little bit larger. We had about 2,400 students, but demographically very much very similar. As I shared with the board when I was going through the process, I'm very happy in my current district, and jumping a little bit ahead of myself. I was in Hempfield for 21 years, and then I left the Hempfield School District for a district office position. I told the superintendent in Hempfield I loved being a high school principal, but I did not want to be the high school principal when my son went through the high school. I just didn't think that was fair to him, nor to myself to put that type of pressure on him. So I began looking for district office positions. Went to Cornwall Lebanon School District for a year and a half, and I was the director of secondary education. And then I had a really great opportunity to move to State College and become the assistant superintendent in the State College School District. And I've been in State College for the past 4 years, did my doctorate at Penn State. So I love Penn State, and I do drink the Kool-Aid here. Any event that I can get to, I try and go to. And many of these meetings I've attended, there are a lot of Penn State folks in O&J Roberts, from what I understand. So as I shared with the board when I was going through the process, O&J Roberts is the only school district superintendent position that I considered or that I've applied for. Growing up in the Boyertown area and in that region, I always had a strong admiration for O&J Roberts, knew it was an outstanding school district. And the opportunity to come back home after 26 years was just too much of an opportunity for me to pass up. So applied and went through the process, and I am just thrilled to be selected as the next superintendent. And I'm just looking forward to meeting all of you personally, developing relationships, and doing the best what we can for our kids. And I'm particularly excited to be taking my first superintendent at this point in my career, because I think there's a lot of excitement that's brewing for next school year, particularly as we're coming to the end, hopefully, of this pandemic, and we can get back to school as we think of normal school. But I don't think it's ever going to be normal again. I think there are a lot of lessons that we learned from the pandemic that we can do things a little bit better moving forward. So again, that's just a little bit about myself. And the last thing I will say, and probably most importantly, I am married. My wife is a teacher. She was an elementary teacher for many years, and she has been a reading specialist for the past 10 years. We have a son who is a junior in high school. And I will share, he will be staying in State College as well as my wife for his senior year. It was very important for us that we did not pull him out of his school for his senior year. So I will be down there by myself the first year. And then as soon as he graduates, then my wife and he will be joining me in the Owen J. Roberts area. So we're all excited to be making that commute eventually. And then we'll just have 3-hour drives to Penn State for our football games and other things that we like to do here. So again, thank you for giving me the time tonight. I look forward to meeting all of you in person eventually. And I don't think I can say it enough. I am thrilled to be in this position and have the opportunity to work with you and your kids and the Owen J. Roberts staff and community. So thank you.
Thank you. We're going to have you drinking the North Coventry Kool-Aid soon, so don't you worry. Okay, any questions for Dr. Stout before we move on? Okay, all right. I give you a lot of props for coming to all these PTA, PTO meetings. And you still have a smile on your face. It's pretty.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Okay, so we will then move on to some officer reports. We have our corresponding secretary, Marissa.
Great. I just have a couple things. I think many of you know that with our giant funds, we decided to give $50 to each classroom teacher at North Coventry. So we got a couple thank yous for purchases. One being from Mrs. Heckler's 3rd grade class. I think Amy has a little snapshot of that. But she, with her $50, bought whiteboards with built-in clipboards for all of her students. Mrs. Bittler, she bought prizes for her super readers. Mrs. Grasshoff bought snacks. And there's a lot of other teachers that purchase things. However, they're just simply waiting for those items to be shipped. And that's all I have.
I see Maddie in the picture and Maddie on the screen. Yay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Ben, we are up to you for treasurer's report.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. It looks like you need to let me share.
I had you signed in before and then
Sorry.
come back. There you go. Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay. Yep. You can see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so the opening balance beginning in March was $26,801.76. We had $60 deposited for NC t-shirts. We had $41.30 go out for flowers for Kathy. We had $143.48 go out for canvas and cookies. $33.74 for birthday cards for teachers. Then we had $15 come in for magnets and lanyards. $602 came in for carnations and candy income. So that was good. Money went out for that as well. I think there's still some money that will go out for this. Staff appreciation, $19 came in, and this was actually money that we found in the safe from last year. So it's carryover. And then magnets, $3 with an ending balance of $27,158.69. Any questions on this piece? Okay, do you want me to cover the budget item now as well, Amy, or later?
The voting one?
Yes.
We'll do that in a little bit if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay. Ben and Tab have been working on getting some of our forms a little bit more updated and fillable. Tab has all sorts of cool skills with that, so thank you. And those are on the website. So if you need to have a request for a payment or a reimbursement or anything like that, definitely check out the website. And thank you guys for that work. Okay, VP2, Sarah, you are up.
again. So upcoming on Friday is our virtual bingo for the spring for the kiddos and adults this time around. If you did register, but you have not received an email confirming your number of bingo cards, please let myself know. I'll put my email in the chat so I can make sure that you have the right number of bingo cards, which will also be coming out tomorrow along with the Zoom link to get on. And that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. And Tammy, you're up. VP1.
Hi again. Okay, so Vice President report for April. Amazon Smile, we're still at 289.88, and that's going to be for the year to this point. We have one more disbursement coming before the end of PTO's fiscal year that will tie up our final year or our final numbers for the year. So if you are not already subscribed to Amazon Smile, please consider doing that. Download the app. It's connected now. It's, you know, it's inching along and it helps every little bit. Box tops, same situation. We're at 218.70 for the school year so far. And just to give you some perspective, since they moved over to the scan app, they started last year, our numbers started going down, but last year we made $859 for the year. And you can see that we're at the end for this year, and that's a pretty big drop. So we're going to have to supplement with that. If you have any of the physical clipped coupon box tops that don't expire until after November, and you'd like to get them out of your house, feel free to send them into the school. We'll hold them until our next submission in November. Keep in mind you can scan using the app. There's still a few clip box tops out there. And then if you do online grocery ordering or online anything, if there's like a special food item, you can forward your e-receipt to boxtops4education.com. I'll go ahead and put all of the links to anything pertinent in my report when I finish up, because I can't be expected to do that and talk at the same time. I'm not that savvy. So carnations and candy grams, it looks like we've netted close to $400 for that. So that was really a big surprise, and it was wonderful work by Stephanie and Danielle. That was the first time we've ever done anything like that, and it just really was surprising every time we saw more and more orders coming in. So that was good, and thanks to everybody that participated. It really brightened some days. We still have lanyards for sale. OJR lanyards to hold your mask. Hopefully we won't be needing them at some point, but I don't think that's too soon. So you can still get lanyards for $5, magnets for $2, and the NC blankets, we have a few left, and they're nice and cozy, and it's spring, so if you're hanging outside at night, it's still a good time to have a blanket. So the North Coventry Craft Show is, it sounds like we're going to go ahead and move forward with planning it with cautious optimism that we'll be able to have an indoor craft show in November. This is a big, for anybody that hasn't been a part of it, this is a big hit for our community, and like outside of our community, crafters, vendors love it, shoppers love it. It's a big thing. So stay tuned for that. But our chair, Trish Lay, could really use a co-chair. So if there's anybody with that enjoys organizing, that has great ideas, and might be interested in co-chairing craft show, it's a really good time. Trish is a great person to work with. She has it down pat at this point. It's a pretty well-oiled machine. So if there's anybody that would like to help out with that, I'll put my email in as well, and you can contact me, and I'll put you in touch with Trish. That's no problem. Separately, but kind of related, if we have any new faces or any new people that have connections with food purveyors or restaurants or anything of that nature, we our connection to food has left with Crystal, helping out with craft show. So or food trucks too. So if you have any of those connections, again, you can email me and I'll connect you with Trish, and we can go from there. So that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. I'm so excited I didn't skip you like last month. Bonus. Okay, so we're up to president. So we were able to spend some money through the Giant A+ rewards. And I'm going to hopefully share my window here. So this is just sort of putting in one place what we did with the money. So we started with about $9,000. We did use some money for some diversity books in the beginning of the year. So after that point, we started spending some money fast and furiously before the timeline crept up on us. So we got a new basketball net, which has been apparently a big hit. So we're excited about that. And we were able to pay for some speakers and trainings for aid and for mental health. Mental health, we were able to bring in Jenny Krumenacker to do some mindfulness training with not all of our kids, but 15 different sessions with kids and also teachers, paraprofessionals, if they were able to get into those classrooms, and parents. So that was great. And we had some more money spent on books for supporting mental health in the school. So Jeannie Rauscher has been the quarterback for that project and has done a great job. Then we were able to offer, I'm calling them mini grants because I'm very creative, as you can tell. And we were able to offer $50 to spend for anything, at the end of the year, maybe something for next year, something to replace for the classroom for students. And we didn't give the teachers enough time, truly. So some were able to jump on it, some were able or not able to do so. But we got some, as Marissa told you, some good things in the teachers' classrooms. Also exciting, we're able to get our own mascot for just North Coventry. So all the North Coventry germs can stay just in North Coventry mascot heads. So that's exciting. And we have some money left over that I believe will be out of our control at this point, but the way it worked out time-wise, it allowed us to pay for the entire mascot. So we don't just have like feet and hands coming, it's the whole deal. So that's good. Are there any questions about the Giant funds? Okay. So aside from that, we do have elections. I don't know why I said they were in 2 months. That's a mistake on my agenda there, sorry. In 1 month, 2 months until we're finished, but in 1 month, next month, we have elections for PTO board. So if you're curious about any positions, every position is always open, and you are more than welcome to talk to anybody on the board or anybody who's been on the board in the past, who will probably give you an even more honest answer about what's involved. And then if you would like to nominate yourself or somebody else for a position, we are utilizing Christine McAfee, who's one of the parents who is not going to be on the board, and she'll be our impartial person that's collecting all the nominations. So we're asking for 2 days before the meeting. I believe the meeting's on the 16th. So May 14th, if you can get your nominations in before that point. We can take nominations up until the vote by the bylaws, but it just gives us a little bit of leeway to get like the virtual polling and stuff set up, which is a growth area for me. So we will be working on that. Any questions about elections for PTO board? I know there's lots of excited people there. Okay. Feedback surveys. So some of you have probably already done this. I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here, but we do have an anonymous PTO feedback survey. We've done this in other years as well. And it just kind of helps us see where we're missing the mark and where we're hitting the mark as far as events and fundraisers and such. And Tammy and I were talking earlier today. We do want everybody to know we were trying to be very intentional about the fundraisers this year. Tammy did a great job with trying to come up with a few things that were maybe things we're doing already, like shopping at a toy store and getting a discount and getting a donation. and the blankets for the comedy night outside, things like that. We were not trying to put a push on our community for big income this year. We didn't feel like it was the right thing to do. Everybody had enough on their plates. We don't know everybody's situations. And so we intentionally kept it pretty low key. And I give Tammy a lot of credit for kind of revamping her whole approach, going from walkathon one year to, selling some blankets, but they're great blankets. So I do recommend them for sure. So anywho, the feedback survey is one way to give us some idea about what you're looking for next year, what worked, what didn't. And then also I wanted to offer 2 feedback meetings. So if you are more comfortable talking or you have some questions about why didn't we do this? Why do we do this? What can we do next year? Next Monday night and next Tuesday around noon, if either of those times work for you, you can join me. I'll be sending out those links eventually. And if those times don't work for you, always feel free just to email any of us and give us your feedback. All righty. And scholarship, we'll just introduce that for the moment. One of the things we get to do as PTO president, and Casey used to tell me stories about these all the time, was go to the PTA roundtables. Dr. Stout was there on Monday night for the second one that we've had this year. And one of the great things about those meetings is we get to exchange some ideas. And one of the ideas that I picked up last time was that West Vincent did a scholarship for a grad from West Vincent, someone who's graduating senior year from O&J. So they were happy to share that idea and I was happy to steal it. And so we're going to do that for a North Coventry grad. And so there's a little application, it's nothing big. And Marissa has cleared the path for getting that into the hands of the guidance counselors at the high school. So we'll vote on that later. We're mostly just moving some funds around that we didn't need this year to make that happen. So you can think about that. If you have questions, we can vote on that in a little bit and we'll get your questions then. Okay. So old business, moving on, talent show. And Danielle, I see your D there. And Stephanie, I don't know if there's anything you wanted to.
I will be talking.
Okay.
There's really nothing to report except that we are very grateful for the participants. There were so many great talents in our school, and it was really cool video to watch, put together. Danielle did an amazing job putting that together, and the candy and carnations. Wow, wow. Our teachers, our students, our parents are really just amazing, and they really do know how to. What's the word? They're just amazing how you guys can just say, I want to buy a flower for somebody. And then me receiving the flowers, I was like, wow, this is great. Like, you guys like me. So it really brightened up a lot of people's day. And we are grateful that we were able to do that for everybody. So thank you.
Thank you guys. That was another awesome event. Let's see, on to new business. We'll do some committee reports. If I'm going too fast, just like put the sign up. Otherwise, committee reports. We have our aid committee that April Sabo, would you like to speak about that at all?
Yes, hello. April Sabo here. I am the chair of the aid committee. I want to let everybody know we're up to 50 plus members, so that's very exciting. And since Dr. Stout's here, I thought I'd put a plug in that we couldn't have started this committee without Amy and Tammy allowing us basically to exist in North Coventry to start. And Mr. Bettman has been our advocate and at everything we've had this year, and Dr. Marchini also. So without this whole entire group here, we couldn't have even existed. So I really want to say thank you, and we appreciate everything that everybody's done for us. With that said, we have a lot going on. We had our March event finish up, which was a 3-week series by our very own Dr. Matt Sabo, which is exploring the race through a critical economic lens. That went extremely well. The feedback was very, very positive. It was for a very small group, so we could keep the discussion open and honest. And we also just finished up our April event with Mr. Martinez. He did inclusive leadership, understanding microaggressions, we had 2 nights there. Our first night, we had a few road bumps and some kinks to work out. But then Thursday night went really, really well. We had a lot of discussion. So we were really excited about that. Our next event will be on May 5th or 12th. Same sessions, just different days to accommodate people with Kelly Yidam. She is the DEI officer at Westtown, and she'll be presenting using your superpowers to drive diversity. We're very excited about this talk. There is a TED Talk that's offered. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out to, we'll put Aide's email and we can send you the flyer, the registration link, and her TED Talk. Also, we are going to be on the district-wide webpage, which we're very excited about. Information should be up there shortly. Our next meeting is on April 27th at 7 p.m. And then one other thing I want to let everybody know about, something our advocacy team has been working on May 6th at the next Cal meeting. If you guys want to kind of come and hear what's going on, at 6 p.m. there'll be a public presentation regarding the district goals and the Title IX strategic plan. So we'll get to hear an update about some of the things that the district has been doing to help us better understand some of the solutions to the Title IX report. So thank you guys so much. And if anybody's interested, Amy put everything on the side there. So feel free to reach out to us. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, April. Okay, Ben, you're going to put on your new hat here for mental health.
Yes, thank you. So mental health is also going great. You know, it's been amazing to me how it's grown district-wide. And April and I are working really closely together. There's a lot of overlap between, you know, what she's doing with AID and what we're doing with mental health. That being said, some specific report outs, as Amy mentioned already with the Giant Funds, huge shout out to Jeannie Rauscher, who really took the lead at getting books into our elementary school that support mental health, right? And great books are around emotional intelligence and empathy and depression and what is sad. And I can't wait to get in there to get my hands on them to see them. So make sure all the teachers know that those books are available. Please use them. Help educate our kiddos, because that's part of what we're trying to do, is remove stigmas, educate the kids, educate staff, and really, really happy that Jeannie took the lead and we were able to do that. We also use Giant Funds to have Jenny Cronemacher, who's a certified counselor in our community, to be able to push into all the classrooms and teach mindfulness to all of our kiddos and staff, and then also met with parents and cyber kids. So a huge shout out and thank you to Jenny for being able to do that. Our next meeting coming up is April 25th. We're going to continue to discuss a couple of programming for next year. And then in addition, a couple of big events that we're starting to plan for next year. September is when we kick this whole thing off. September's National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. So in September, we're going to have a Day of Hope. I met with Dr. Marchini earlier today and got the green light and his support that this is going to be a district-wide event combining AID, the Mental Health Advocacy Group, the OJR Ed Foundation, and the school district. And we're going to put together what I imagine is going to be a great event. It's going to be a race, a walk. There's going to be tents of student groups, memorials. It's going to be a really impactful and special day. So we're going to start planning for that. And then in the spring, we're also going to expand something that John McCormick at the high school has done called Challenge Day, which I can't begin to give it justice or explain what it is, but it sounds really, really great to teach mindfulness and mental health and inclusion and awareness. And that's going to be a district-wide day as well. And we're going to push that down into the middle school and elementary schools. So lots more to come. Thank you for everyone's involvement. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ben. Okay, let's see. Casey, there you are. Would you like to talk about staff appreciation?
Sure. There's not, sorry, I have lost my voice this week, so I'm going to sound like this the whole time, unless I start yelling like I did most of the day today. Staff appreciation, there's not, It's not going to look like most years, but at least it's back again, unlike last year. We're looking forward to at least being able to provide lunch for teachers on May 20th. It will not be during Teacher Appreciation Week, as we usually try to do, because that is a PSSA testing week. So we didn't think combining the two would really be very kind. So we're skipping that. We're skipping ahead, or we're skipping to after all of the PSSAs are over, and then we can't have a big luncheon. It will be boxed lunches. Staff will be getting their meal choices. They actually have to RSVP with responses this year. So I will be hounding everyone. So because you have to choose your meal. So yeah, expect a lot of that from me. Coming down the hall and shoving papers in your face. But basically because we can't eat together, except a few people spread out very far in a room, I will be just asking for staff members, lunch time and location, and it will be delivered on a hopefully relatively decorated cart because I can't decorate the whole stage like I usually do and make it a grand production. It will be it'll be a cart. So whatever. The idea is that at least we hope to get to treat you to a lunch, and hopefully actually first, let me thank everyone who has already sent in their donation for that, because this is funded wholly separately from the PTO budget. It allows us to purchase things on behalf of parents that wouldn't necessarily, it would be a little bit of a gray area under the bylaws of the PTO. So that's why we do it this way. This is a separate fundraiser so that we can use the funds on behalf of the parents to treat staff in a way that we feel is appropriate. Thank you to everyone who's already donated. If you haven't, or if you know people who haven't, please just nudge them. Hey, don't you want to say thank you for all those extra hours and all that Google Meet time? Because that's super fun. Or the dual class time, even better, in class and at home at the same time. So anyway, yeah, please send in your donations if you haven't, and we're hoping to make this a good event, if interesting this year. All right.
I have no doubts. It'll be great. Thank you for doing that. So next we have yearbook sales, and the price goes up again May 1st. So just if you haven't ordered already, and again, I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here, but you'll want to put in that order before the price goes up May 1. The yearbook has been sent to the presses, and we thank Susan Larson and Christy Kurtz and Tammy and Casey all really stepped up to do a whole bunch of editing and helping. It was an impossible year for a yearbook, and they did the best they could. So thank you, thank you. All right, I think we are on to new business letter B, unless there are any questions to address. So the mini grant application, we voted as an exec board to approve an exciting new application. Kelly Bean and John Sands submitted an application for funding for a jump rope station. So that was approved, and we'll be seeing some jump ropes as a great activity. They'll learn about it in gym, they'll play in the playground, they can play with a friend or solo. So it kind of, it's kind of a good COVID activity, a good I need to be by myself right now activity, or a good activity to you know, have a friend join you and do good things. Yes, Stephanie's got it. We'll learn all the old school things. So thank you, Mrs. Bean, for that. Okay, so the scholarship. Are there any questions about the scholarship before we vote on that? Oh, Ben had to go. Okay.
You need notes on the motion, Aim.
Okay.
I actually have a question. Will that be something that is always usually parsed from the PTO budget, or is that something that you may put out specific things to remind people that if they would like to earmark funds for it, they can certainly do that? I know sometimes parents kind of feel like they want something going extra going that way or something? Is that something that'll probably be announced going forward, or will this always just come from your working budget? Or
So
what's the idea
we
anyway?
would accept donations for, is that what you mean?
Or like, is it something you would just maybe suggest, like in the newsletters, you know, how there's always the like, hey, and don't forget this, like at the, I know how that goes, right? You don't forget the following things. So would that be something you'd say, hey, if you are interested in, or maybe towards the end of the year, if you're interested in donating towards the North Coventry graduation scholarship, you know, and then just have like information with that. I'm just curious if that was your vision for it, if that's what they do, or if they just always just take it out of their budget.
So my understanding, West Vincent was where I stole it from, and it's part of their budget. But I like that idea of, you know, being able to increase it. And it's certainly, you know, something that could be worked into the budget. And then if we're able to accept some donations in the future, maybe bump it up a little bit. Yeah, I like that idea. So for this year, I think we'll just do, given the time, since we're pushing it already, we'll just do this reappropriation of funds. So Tammy, you have notes, you said?
Yes. So we need a motion to move $500 from craft fair and March Madness that didn't happen to the scholarship fund.
And the craft show, part of it was we had put some money aside for reimbursements for people because we had to cancel the craft show. So it's like that particular line item. We didn't have to use that too much. So that was great. So, okay, that's where we're getting it from. So would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll motion.
That was Casey.
That was
I'll
Casey.
second.
And that was Tav, second. Questions, discussion, concerns?
I have a question, but not a bad question. Sorry. When will it go to, when will it be distributed? Because the senior that I adopted, I know she came from North Coventry, so I would think she would probably want to apply. So I'd like to let her know about it.
Yes, and you can do that as long as we all vote yes. But the advertisement is ready in anticipation of, you know, a very optimistic outcome here. So the advertisement is ready and we know who to get it to in the high school, and they will be, the guidance counselors will be pushing it out, but for sure we'll be advertising it. So word of mouth is great. And I think it was Mrs. Bean that had suggested going on to that Adopt a Senior site and advertising.
Awesome.
So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's exciting. Okay, any other questions or concerns about the scholarship? Okay, so all those in favor of this North Coventry scholarship, please raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposition? Okay, the motion passes. Thank you. Okay, and Tammy, you're up again for a building substitute appreciation message.
Okay, I'm not going to look up just in case I'm getting dirty looks. So we just want to give a quick shout out to our building subs. Obviously, this year has been a banner year, for lack of a better term. We had a handful of subs. So it was Juliana Miller, Mary Beth, Jean Donato, Lace Olson, and then our building subs that have been there with us all year are Deb Sussmuth and Casey Shaw. I'm sorry, Casey, that you have to take the brunt of this. I'm just not going to look up, and you can tell me if she's giving me dirty looks later. So I received this really sweet email with a very short list of the amazing things that they've done, Deb and Casey, to go above and beyond this year. And I'm going to read it for you. So task force committee work, taking on extra work. They took on extra work for the task force, brought in food, decorated, kept the task force going. I think that's the right plural there. They helped the staff update iPads. If anybody's seen an iPad update happen in a classroom, you can understand how crazy this is. So that was huge help. Endless copy help. They take time to work with the individual para schedules for their days. They help the para subs get set up for the day. They took the time to learn Accelerate, no easy feat, and Google Classroom, definitely no easy feat in my mind. They problem solved many all caps situations. They worked effortlessly to deal with tech issues. They make lesson plans when there are emergencies. They always take the time to get to know the kids on a personal level and an academic level. They're always willing to jump into any room at any time and help. They take kids on breaks when they need them. They brought cupcakes for the staff to brighten their day. Can't imagine who that was. And then in all caps, they're willing to do anything and especially fill our school with love and happiness. So, and there was one other thing that she said was that there are many of us that don't know how we would have made it through this year without them. So just a little thank you for all your hard work and going above and beyond. I'm sorry that Deb's not here, but I'm glad that she's not tuning in from vacation. And so we'll hope to show her the recording of this. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And yes, Deb did threaten to join us from St. Martin. And I did say, if you do that, I'm making them remove you from the meeting permanently. So,
and that's just a sign of her dedication.
Yes, it is. And she's a little bit crazy. All right. Thank you. That's very nice.
Thank you.
Amy, I want to add something to Casey and Deb. They also were able to bring Wally into the school for that day. And the kids were just like, I mean, I was screaming, "Hey, Wally," from my car. So thank you for doing it that one day. And I mean, I'm glad we're actually going to get a costume now. So that is going to be more often for the children, because it's good to have Wally in the school.
Thank you, Steph. So true. All right, Mr. Bentman, we're up to your report, I believe.
Yeah, I totally concur with everything that Tammy said. One of the most difficult things during the past 6-7 months this year and last 3 months last year was teacher coverage. It's always a topic that comes up when principals talk and school secretaries talk about filling coverage. And I can say that, and the teachers that are in this room can attest that because of our building subs, we have been able to continue on with regular programming without any gaps pretty much all year. So we're completely blessed. Not every elementary school has what we have. And I'm reminded of it every day, every time I walk in and see the coverage that's needed, and it's what we can be able to do with the personnel we have. So absolutely. So yay subs. Nice job, Casey. Good job representing tonight. All right. So some topics on my end. So here we go. So we're going to do a spirit week. We're going to finish off the year in May with having a spirit week. And I think the kids are really going to dig it. We're going to have them vote with Wally tickets. So we don't know what they are yet. The genius mind of Sue Grasshoff will come up with something very nice for those 4 days. It's the week before the holiday. And we're going to have a spirit day. So more spirit days, spirit week, more information to come on that. I think when Amy presented the Giant Fund Google slide and we talked about it, that really encompasses what this PTO has been able to do this past year. We're not just fundraising for kid events, and we're not just providing items for teachers and students. We're doing a lot more than that. And with our 2 big groups, with aid and mental health, with our talent shows that we're having, with our bingo nights, with our specific things that we're doing outside with our PTO, all the things that are kind of included on top of fundraising, on top of providing things for kiddos. So with the Giant Funds, we covered so many different things, such as speakers to come in for aid and for mental health, the basketball court, we covered athletics, we covered reading with some of the books that the teachers purchased, some arts and crafts supplies, some positive reinforcement rewards that the teachers were able to get. Also, the Wally outfit. So there's just so many things. And it's nice to see that we just didn't focus on maybe one big item that might just affect some children we really covered all the bases. So kudos to the PTO for taking care of that. So speaking of the basketball court, I definitely love it. We played outside with the sixth graders. We had a little game of knockout. I didn't win, so I was a little disappointed, but I'll get them next time. And I told the sixth graders, probably shouldn't have said this, but I said, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a slam dunk contest because you can lower it up and down. So I'm going to test the weight out of it. I'll hang on it, make sure it can support me. And then we're going to have, and the sixth graders are like going to go wild to have a slam dunk contest outside with this basketball court. So more information to come with that. But the kids are loving the basketball court. Kelly Bean, you were out there playing with the kids, and they just, it's just a good piece. So I totally want to look to get another one next to it eventually in the future because it's definitely a big item. So Title I update, groups are continuing in progress. One of the blessings that we have this year is having 5 days a week in school, which is huge. And I'm probably seeing a big effect with our title groups because now they're being seen 5 days a week. The consistency is nice. A nice shout out to the 3 reading teachers, the 2 math teachers, and all of the classroom teachers for continuing small group reading support, because that's where we're going to get really our time with the students in small group, and we really get the most out of instruction. So all good stuff happening there. STAR math assessments will be coming around the corner as we come, and also our Fontes and Pinnell assessments for our students to see where they fall with their growth, and some of our kindergarten assessments for some of our K kids, and then some early literacy assessments for some of our first graders. So that'll be coming around the corner in May. And our team, as we do every spring, will hold our NC data meetings beginning of June, end of May, to see where our students are so we can really start to gear up for next year. Because I'm going to be honest with you, that's what we've been doing. We've already started planning for next year. That's the goal, right? It takes a while to plan and proceed, and what the game plan is for next year, and specifically with this being such a year, the planning is very important. So more information to come on that. So of course, someone mentioned the 4-letter word PSSA a little earlier in the meeting. First up are our cyber students, which will start on Monday. So we'll have ELA Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The following week, we'll have math the first 2 days. We get a break on Wednesday, and then we go into 4th grade science Thursday and Friday. So that's our cyber kiddos. We're going to take a little break, regroup, and then take care of our in-person students May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Skip Thursday, Friday, give them a break. And then the following week of May, go Monday, Tuesday, math, and then science for 4th grade on Thursday, Friday. So we're geared up for that. We're ready to go. And that will take us right into middle of May, end of May with makeups, and then stuff I talked about with our school-based assessments, which we have a baseline on since the beginning of the year, which is good. And really looking forward to dive into that data. We're working on some type of spring activity day in lieu of field day. So myself and the PE and health department is working on that. So just kind of more information to come on that as we plan. Our kindergarten roundup, we're going to round up the new kindergartners, and that's going to happen on May 26th. We're going to do a virtual session due to COVID, but we do have kinder camp on August 9th, and that's when we'll be able to see our new students to North Coventry on August 9th with our week of kinder camp. We're really looking forward to that. So we're going to have 3 sessions for a roundup on the 26th. We'll have a 9 o'clock session. We will have a 1 o'clock session and an evening, a 6:30 session for kindergarten roundup. So everybody out there, I need your help. If you know anybody that has a kindergarten kiddo that has not registered yet, please spread the word. You guys know I'm a little competitive, so I think we're number 1 right now out of all the 5 buildings with the most kindergartners signed up. So help me win, and let's get the names in and get our group our group nice and big, because we want to make sure they all come to O&J in North Coventry. So that's our kindergarten. We're looking forward to that. And that's all I have, Amy.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions or any feedback, any comments? I always appreciate everybody's kindness in all of my glitches and forgetfulness things. So thank you for that. That's my feedback for you. Otherwise, we have a meeting coming up in May 16th. It will be via Zoom. It will be at 7 o'clock. And I think,
Amy, I have a question.
yes.
It's Stephanie. For the roundup, for the kindergarten roundup, you said it was going to be virtual. Can't hear
Yes,
you.
it's gonna be virtual.
Okay. How would that? Can you give me an example how that would look?
Yeah. Sure. We're not, instead of bringing the kids in, like, so what we typically do, right? You know what we typically do because you have older ones. So bring them in, and then we do the tour, and then we have the group. So because not being able to bring parents into the building and more kids, we'll have virtual sessions, and then for our kindergarten K camp, we'll bring the students in for the K camp.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll give
Okay.
the student tours and things like that, and we'll open the building up. Parents want to come in and check the building out as well, and then obviously we can definitely bring kiddos in individually. So if you want to bring like your son in during the summer, just you and maybe your husband and him, you can bring them in, and we can walk around the building and kind of go that way too. So
Okay.
I'll
All right.
I'll also be doing kindergarten visits virtually this year. So we'll enjoy that. I'd love to get into the houses to do visits as I've done in the past this summer, but it's just with COVID and things like that. So we'll do that virtually.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steph. Any other questions?
I have a question. This is Trish Falcone. I was wondering, I know no one has mentioned this in a while, and I know COVID probably is making this not happen, but field day, were you able to do anything for field day since everything is going on, or is that not happening?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's a good question, Trish. We can't do a traditional field day. It's just too much with COVID, but we're working on an alternative.
Okay.
Field day. So we're going to do something. It's kind of calling it like a spring activity day during specials, getting the schedule. So it's in the works.
Okay.
We're going to do it during the day on a smaller scale. We're going to do it by grade level. So yeah, more to come on that. We're still planning involved, and then obviously informing the staff and things. So yeah.
Got it. Okay. I was like, yeah, like I said, if you need any help, let me know. But like I said, it sounds like you got it covered. So, all right.
Thank you, Trish. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Dr. Stout, thank you for coming and joining us tonight. It was great to see you again. And
thank you for having me.
yes, come back anytime. Okay. I'm going to make you a believer of North Coventry. Okay.
I was looking through all those comments, and I'm becoming a believer. All the comments that I saw in there.
Nice. We'll do that again. So, good luck with the remainder of your school year and the transition and everything else for sure.
Thank you.
So, thanks for all these smiling faces. I appreciate it so much. And reach out if you need anything. Otherwise, have a great night. We'll see you soon.
See you.
Take care.